Hey guys and gals, Sweet Scoots here, and we are going to do some fun things to the old Street Glide right here. We are going to remove the cat, and we're going to add this little booster plug to it after we remove the cat. I have never had any other bike with a catalytic converter on it. This one right here does not have a catalytic converter, and it runs like a raped ape. And that one over there, the 117 and that big dog, does not have a catalytic converter in it. We've soaked all the bolts down and everything for the guards with our Planet Safe. And if you want a free sample of the Planet Safe, just send us a comment and we will get you out one. No ulterior motives whatsoever. We'll just send it to you for free. We'll pay the shipping, which is right around $4, and package it up and send it out to you. So just let us know. Let's get busy. There's multiple reasons why I'm doing the cat delete. One is I don't like to be told what to do, never have, and pushed around by things and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. The other thing is I want my bike to flow. I want it to breathe easy, and I want it to be louder, and I want whatever horsepower I can get out of it. So we're going to use this drill bit right here to drill that thing out. It's going to take a bit, probably an hour or so or more, but we're gonna get it out of there. All right, we got the process started. We got our cart here, our handy dandy cart. Got our handy dandy bright light up above, and our handy dandy 16-foot drill bit. And we've gotten into it and started grinding it up in there. It's working good. It's going to take some time, but I'll show you how I'm doing it. Now, what I did with this drill bit, I know I don't want to go any further than that weld up here. So basically right to the end, right where the hexagon part here for the drill gun goes, that's as far as I want to go in. So right now, I just stick it in and move it around and keep grinding it up. I've got that much further to go before I'm through it. The cat is not ceramic like most of them. It's a metal base. This bit is made for cutting through nails and all that good stuff. Now I could cut a door in this, take the whole exhaust off, cut a door in this, and get it out that way, but I don't want to do that. I'm not in a rush. It's a little chillier here in Florida, so it gives me time to get this done. So basically that's what I'm going to end up doing, however long it takes me to get all of that out of there. Well, it took me about 5 to 8 minutes to get through completely and bore a hole through it and see if I can share it with you. You can see the hole back there. We're completely through it. Now I'll take big punches and chisels and a long crowbar and start busting up the edges until I get it all busted out of there. We are about 45 minutes into it. You can see the tools I'm using. Of course, the drill bit, a big crowbar, and when you get the crowbar in there, you just turn it and then put a crescent wrench on it, and this tip will grind it up in there. Same with this here, this pry bar. You just put a wrench on it once it binds up in there and spin it, and you'll bunch it up good. Now I can run the drill in there, and it's just about out, and I'll have it all out of there. So I had one last little piece in here, and I ground it up. Actually, it was a fairly big piece. I ground it up with the drill bit, and then I made a little hook here, and I've got the back side of it hooked. All I got to do is pull it out. There it is. All right, I got it all out of there. There's some tiny little fragments in there, but I think it's all out. What I'm going to do is, because this pipe here is flat, there could be a piece wedged in there somewhere. I blew air from the exhaust tip back through, but I want to make sure, so I'm going to run an endoscope down this exhaust here to see if there's any pieces in there, and I'll run it in here as well. All right, we have the endoscope set up here, and we are going to run it down in, see what we've got. A few little tiny fragments there, no big deal. I can scrape them out if I need be, but I can adjust this thing any way I want to. Tilt. Now we will go through the end of the other exhaust. Looks pretty good. Nothing clogging it up. And now we're going to mount the booster plug. All right, guys and gals, we're here, Sweet Scoots, and it is time to add our booster plug. I looked at the plugs after running the bike after the decat. The plugs look good. We're going to add this in there. I have full faith in it. The reviews on these things are amazing, and they are bike specific. And I'll show you how I'm going to do it, and hopefully it helps you. All right, the tools we're going to need for this are numerous. Not really, but we're going to add some dielectric grease to all our plugs, being that we'll be riding in the rain. Not much, but here in Florida you can get caught anytime. We got our dielectric grease, and this is really good stuff here, and it's a great value, so make sure you look at Julio. Tell everybody where all the tools are located.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción del video para todas las herramientas.
Thank you, Julio Cesar Chavez Bill. Thanks, Bill. Sorry, he wants to be called Bill. Cesar Chavez Rodriguez. I just like getting him going. The little cart's going to be loaded up with all our stuff we need, and we're going to get cracking on this right now. All right, we're putting on one of the best headlamps you can get your hands on right here. I could have done this when I changed the air filter, but that didn't work out that way. And pretty much what this is it just it goes in conjunction with the air box for your AIT, and then this is the thermostat or temperature sensor that will be run to the front of the bike to the coolest area of the bike. And you should read up on these. They're pretty awesome what they do. For the price, not much considering what they do for you. And we're not being paid to share it. The bike runs like crazy already with the cat being gone. I don't care what anybody says, it does make a big difference. And I'll tell you, if you can find a little piece of pipe like this, this comes in so handy when you're breaking Allen bolts loose, Torx bolts loose. It just gives you that little bit of leverage. Even if you have to, you can only get to it this way. They're handy. I'm not going to take the gas tank off, you don't have to. All right, now if you are doing a street glide, this is the easiest way to do it. Remove the two bolts that hold your tank right here. Use a rubber handled hammer or something that's rubber handled, soft rubber, and lift the tank up and then put something under it to hold it up. I have a rag up here to protect anything that may hit the front, and the plug that you want is right here. All right, so this plug you can get out of the way just by sliding it forward. It comes off of that little black plastic gig right down here. Just slide it forward, then you can slide it back on. But this way I can push that out of the way and get to that. Now I can't really show you all this in there, but I'll try to do it step by step for you. Right here, pushing it forward as you push down on that little tabby right there, the black thing. Yellow thing goes out basically 2 clicks to get that to come out of there. And then you just push down on that right there. While you're pushing, you get a screwdriver and pry that back. So now what we're going to do is put this in just in between the two, in between here and here. So I'll do that and then show you what we got going. Now I could take the tank all the way off and go that route, but I'm not going to. I think it's going to fit perfectly right in there where the injectors are, and if I ever have to change the injectors, I'll deal with this here at a later date. All right, we got that pulled out. We're going to use a little dielectric grease on it. Comes with a brush when you get this, but I'm not going to go that route because I don't need that much. And this, I'm going to route up through there right now. Little harness right up front, and I can put that right through there. Then I'm going to put it right up front here in the steering area where the fairing is. Only goes one way. Now we push that forward and we're on. We'll tuck that up in there. Done. It's that quick. Now we'll start it up, make sure it starts up and we've got it wired up correctly. Just like that, Jack. Now we just route this, and like I said, there was a little harness up here. I'll show it to you. It's like it was made for it. Right there. See that thing right there? Then I'll route it up here, right up to the front, and I'll find a cool place up in there to pick up nice cool air. All right, so what I did was that little plastic bracketry in here, looks like it's part of the wiring harness bracketry that mounts to the frame. I drilled a little 1/4-inch hole. I know I can't share that with you too well, but I drilled that and I put the zip tie right through it, and I left it loose enough that this wire still moves. Mount the thermostat here, the temperature sensor, and I'll show you what I end up doing with that. All right, because I want the temperature sensor to pick up the coolest possible air, this worked out really good. I'm in the bracketry here, not going anywhere, plastic bracketry that's part of that up there. And I zip tied it here to this loom, and then I went down here, and this is one of the brake lines. It will not be affected much when I turn the steering. It may work it around here and there, but I've got it loose enough that it'll move with it. But the best part of it is the sensor is coming out right here. Beautiful. Button it all back up and we'll take it for a ride. All right, overview. Everything tucked in there just nicely without removing the tank. Everything's protected from touching any heat. The thermostat wire goes right up through there, perfectly tied down, not going anywhere. And right there is the thermostat or temperature sensor, ready to go. Pick up all the cold air we need, not affected by the engine heat whatsoever. Sweet Scoots, out!